I spent the day walking through Arhaus and Crate Barrel and realized something most homeowners never notice. These stores aren't really selling furniture. They're selling a feeling. And once you understand how they create that feeling, it becomes much easier to create it in your own home. Because these stores are both selling luxury furniture, but they're telling two completely different design stories. One feels warm, organic, and collected. The other feels cleaner, more modern, and more architectural. And if you've ever walked into a furniture store and thought, I love this room, but I don't know why, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Because designers don't just look at furniture. We look for patterns, the colors, the materials, the shapes, the styling choices, and the small details that make a huge impact. And once you start noticing them, you'll never walk through a showroom the same way again. Hi, I'm Nikki D, your interior design bestie and 28-year homeowner, here to help you make your home look expensive without expensive mistakes. If that's your vibe, make sure you subscribe for a new video every week. Today we're breaking down the design language of Arhaus and Crate Barrel, what each brand does differently, what they surprisingly have in common, and the biggest mistake homeowners make when trying to recreate these luxury showroom looks. Let's start with Arhaus. As soon as I walked into Arhaus, the first thing I noticed was how organic everything felt. Nothing felt overly polished. Instead, the rooms felt layered and collected, almost like nature had been invited indoors. I saw organic stone everywhere, stone accent tables, travertine, marble with dramatic movement and veining, pieces that looked unique rather than mass-produced. And that's intentional. Luxury today isn't about perfection, it's about character. It's about materials that feel authentic and lived with. I also noticed so many curved furniture pieces throughout the store. Curved sofas, rounded accent chairs, organic coffee tables, soft silhouettes. Everything felt inviting, comfortable, relaxed. The furniture almost seemed to wrap around you. And after years of seeing angular modern furniture, it's easy to understand why homeowners are responding to this softer look. The color palette reinforced that feeling. Warm browns, taupes, mushroom tones, earthy neutrals, very little bright white, very little harsh contrast. The overall feeling was calm, grounded, and comfortable. Another thing I noticed was texture. Texture was doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Tweed fabrics, shearling, hide ottomans and chairs, wood grain, stone, linen. The rooms weren't relying on bright colors to create interest. They were relying on layers of materials. That's one of the biggest luxury lessons homeowners can learn. Many people think expensive rooms come from expensive furniture, but what often makes a room feel rich is depth. Different materials, different textures, different finishes. That's what keeps a neutral room from feeling boring. And then there was the lighting. Arhaus layers lighting beautifully. Table lamps, floor lamps, even double floor lamps framing the sofa. There were soft pools of light throughout the store. That's one of the reasons these spaces feel so inviting. It's not just the furniture, it's the atmosphere. One thing I noticed at Arhaus was several printed benches and patterned ottomans. And while I actually love seeing pattern used well, these are the types of pieces that require a little more thought. Patterned upholstery tends to feel more traditional. And depending on the fabric and styling, it can become a much stronger style statement than a neutral piece. Now, if you genuinely love mixing patterns and that's a part of your design style, go for it. But if you're someone who likes a more timeless, flexible foundation, I would be careful about investing heavily into highly specific prints. Those are often the pieces that can make a room feel dated more quickly than neutral upholstery. The good news, Arhaus had a great selection of clearance items during this visit. So if you've been eyeing a quality piece, now may actually be a great time to shop because some of those pieces were significantly reduced. Walking into Crate Barrel felt completely different. The first thing I noticed was structure. The rooms felt more edited, more tailored, more intentional. Instead of organic shapes everywhere, I started noticing stronger lines, geometric forms, architectural silhouettes. Pieces that felt a little more refined and disciplined. I also noticed dark wood tones showing up repeatedly. Rich walnut finishes, dark stained woods, more visual weight, more contrast, and I found this fascinating. For years, homeowners were told darker wood was dated. Paint it, lighten it, replace it. But what I'm seeing now is a return to richness, warmth, and character. No, today's walnut isn't exactly the same as the 1990s cherry, but the idea is similar. The design world is moving away from everything feeling pale, washed out, and overly minimalist. Depth is making a comeback. And while today's darker woods may look different than what was popular 20 years ago, warmth is clearly making a comeback. The idea that every home needs light oak and white everything is starting to shift. I also noticed more reflective surfaces throughout Crate & Barrel. Silver mirror top tables, lacquer furniture, glass mixed with stone, glass mixed with metal, marble mixed with metal. There was layered materials in a way that felt sophisticated but still approachable. And there were definitely hints of Art Deco influence. Not full Art Deco, but enough to notice. Curves mixed with geometry, mirror finishes, lacquer details, strong silhouettes. The room still felt warm, but it was a different kind of warmth. Less organic, more curated. Less relaxed, more intentional. Now here's what I found really interesting. Even though these stores have completely different personalities, they're actually using many of the same design principles. And I think this is where homeowners can learn the most. Both stores use layered lighting. Both stores mix materials. Both stores rely heavily on texture. Both stores create contrast. Both stores use larger scale furniture. Both stores keep their color palettes relatively neutral. And both stores tell a very consistent story. That's the part most people miss. The rooms aren't successful because of one sofa or one coffee table or one lamp. The rooms work because every piece supports the same vision. And that's one of the biggest reasons some homes feel expensive while others feel unfinished. When we buy random pieces without a plan, the room starts to feel disconnected. But when every piece supports the same story, the room feels intentional. And intentional design almost always looks more expensive regardless of budget. Quick question for you guys. Which showroom would you spend more time in? Arhaus or Crate & Barrel? And tell me why in the comments below. I'd love to know which style you're naturally drawn to. As I walked through both stores, I kept thinking about homeowners because most people naturally lean one direction. You might be drawn to Arhaus if you love natural materials, texture, organic shapes, warm, earthy colors, relaxed luxury. Or you may prefer Crate & Barrel if you love cleaner lines, architectural details, contrast, structure, modern sophistication. Most people are somewhere in the middle. I know I am. There were things I loved at both stores. And that's why I don't think the goal is to copy a showroom. The goal is to understand what you're responding to. Because once you understand that, shopping becomes so much easier. You're no longer buying random pieces. You're building a home that feels like you. The biggest mistake I see homeowners make is trying to recreate a showroom exactly. What works in a massive showroom doesn't always work in a real home. Showrooms have the perfect lighting, perfect scale, perfect spacing, perfect styling. Real homes have kids, pets, homework, laundry, life. The goal isn't to copy Arhaus, and it isn't to copy Crate & Barrel. The goal is to understand the feeling you're trying to create. Then bring those ideas into your own home in a way that works for your lifestyle. That's what designers do, and that's what makes a home feel authentic. Another thing I always pay attention to when I'm shopping luxury furniture stores is what's on clearance. And not just because I love a good deal, because clearance often tells a story. Many times the pieces ending up on clearance are the designer collaborations or trend-driven collections. They're designed to create excitement, generate buzz, and bring something fresh into the showroom. But they aren't always the pieces that become long-term bestsellers. For example, I saw some absolutely stunning pieces from designer collections. A beautiful gold dripping accent table, a fur sofa, a heavily veined marble coffee table, a dramatic glass top table, and while I love looking at them, many of those pieces were already being moved to clearance or off the main floor. That doesn't mean they're exactly bad, it just means that they're often more trend driven. So here's my rule. If you love a trend, bring it in through smaller investment pieces. An accent table, a chair, a lamp, an ottoman, something that's easier to update later. Instead of making the trend the foundation of the room, one of the smartest things you could do is pay attention to the pieces you see every single time you visit. Those are usually the best sellers. The pieces customers continue buying season after season. And those pieces are often much safer investments if your goal is creating a timeless home. Now, before we wrap up, I want to share a few designer tricks I use in my own home because this is where most homeowners make expensive mistakes. Before you buy anything, here's one of my favorite designer tricks. Create a mood board. Personally, I use Canva or Photoshop. Pull every piece that you're considering into one board. Furniture, lighting, rugs, artwork, accessories, everything. This allows you to see the complete design before making a single purchase. You could swap pieces in and out, compare options, and avoid expensive mistakes. I usually create multiple versions before making the final decision. And when I have it narrowed down to 2 good options, I'll show it to my husband and let him make the final decision, because at that point, I'd be happy with either one. The other thing you absolutely need is a floor plan. A beautiful room still needs to function. You could download my free floor plan guide below. And if you're not sure what your design style is, take my free design style quiz. I also have my 50 favorite paint colors guide linked below because paint color is often the first decisions homeowners struggle with. Just remember the paint color should be chosen after you finalize your design, not before. Otherwise, you'll be matching your expensive sofa to an $80 gallon of paint when it should be the other way around. One final designer trick. When I'm designing a room, I don't start with budget limitations. I start by identifying the look I'm trying to create. Once I know the vision, then I go find alternatives that fit the budget. Reverse image search is fantastic for this. It's one of the easiest ways to find similar pieces at different price points. I mix high and low in my home all the time, and nobody knows unless you tell them. Links to shop my favorite Arhaus and Crate Barrel styles are linked below. They're also on my Shop My and LTK page. And if you're feeling overwhelmed trying to pull all these pieces together, that's exactly why I created Designer Home 101. It walks you through the entire design process step by step so you could create a cohesive home with confidence instead of guessing your way through it. It's linked below if you'd like to learn more. Now I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments, are you drawn to Arhaus or Crate Barrel? Do you prefer organic luxury or modern luxury? I'd genuinely love to know. And next week, we're taking this one step further because after walking through both stores, I started noticing the same exact design trends showing up over and over again. Some of them I think are timeless. Some of them I'm a little more cautious about. And we're going to break all that down in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it with a friend, and subscribe so you don't miss a new video every week. And if you're ready for more decorating ideas, watch this video next. Love you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, happy designing. Ciao.